Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be watching Terraria 2D RPG pixel art perfection structural analysis by Uberdanger. Now, despite the recent issues with Uberdanger, I want to check this out and see if this is... I assume these are the videos, because he said Terraria, and I assume these are the videos that got him limited, or YouTube is basically abusing the system they made to punish this guy for making quality content that doesn't make any sense, but that is what's happening. Let's see. I mean, he has this, and there is another one about the modded Terraria. I play Terraria a lot, but I quit it after a while because I was just bored with it, but seems like he's been enjoying it so far. Let's check it out. Oh my god. The music. Oh, the worm. Oh, not the worm. Oh, you're not safe. You're never safe.
Okay, so that's fucked up. Terraria is a game that, much like myself, is incredibly autistic, but unlike me, is entirely on the fun side of the spectrum.
Very fun. Very, very fun.
It's essentially 2D pixel art Minecraft with actual content. Good content. In fact, it might objectively be one of the best games of all time. And here's
absolutely
why.
True.
It might split your friend group apart 50 hours into a server because there's only one crimson chest and the ranged player in your group snatched up the vampire knives. Over a 5-day period, I dumped 60 hours on it. Things got so bad, I underwent a sustained decrease in chemical happiness across time. Also clinically referred to as, I'm fucking depressed. When I was playing this game, every synapse in my brain was lit, every neuron was fired up. This is a game where solipsism thrives to the point of devolving into extreme egocentrism. You will lose friendships over this game.
Yep.
You might even lose yourself.
Oh my god. Oh my god, no.
And one particular individual was to use a stack underflow to generate 999 pink dyes and bring in questionable amounts of honey from a
pink dyes? Oh no, that's a waste of pink gel.
Allegedly another world. So he could be unique and different with his little gay, otherworldly honey house. It would be entirely appropriate if every other person on the server banded together and psychopathically enforced their own all-encompassing life philosophies. Immediately started clearing the bosses without Honey Boy and rigged his house with TNT, a pressure plate, and wiring to a sign that'll send him a server message saying no cheating. Then
oh my god.
Waited patiently for hours until the unsuspecting victim logged on to start clearing the first boss with his friends, joyfully entering his striking honey estate that he'd spent several hours of his life building.
Yeah, it's really easy. Once you find a hive, you destroy the whole hive, and you have the honey thing.
Interesting.
Loser, get down from there. Oh,
why?
It's destroyed. Your house is...
I spent so long building that.
Jesus Christ.
From a different world.
Oh. Oh. Oh, you fucking deserve that.
This is an intervention.
You left! What the fucking idiot!
Alright, it is what it
Oh,
is.
you fucking bunny, get out of here. Oh, this shitting
The
boss.
best damn game of all time? I'm not giving you my fucking opinion. I mean on a technical level. Just objectively, it's up there. But I know you're a busy man. You don't have 100 hours to dump on 2D Minecraft, and I certainly
More like
haven't sold it
500.
yet. So instead of beating around the bush, I'd rather take you on a journey. Along with my best attempt at a structural analysis of Terraria, I'll present my experience of completing the game.
Wall of Flesh. I mean, yeah, they are doing it. They are doing it in hardcore too, so that is fucked up. Oh my god.
Which starts at the character selection screen. I clicked random until fate dealt me the hand I wanted, after which I named my guy Cowman Oren Ricardo, an anagram of the phrase Moroccan warrior DNA, a vague reference to my African heritage. Although I was a bit taken aback the first time I took damage. Unbeknownst to yours truly, I was a woman. I felt it absolutely heretical to play a girl named Ricardo. But it's 2020, and about time I stopped being so goddamn close-minded. We start our journey with one of the core elements of gameplay: communal housing. You see, to build a strong community, first you need a position.
Okay, listen. A question from you guys. How many of you pick a girl in a third-person shooter or like a FPS to look at their ass or look down at their boobs? Do you do that, right? You do that. Please tell me. Is it just me? Because, I mean, in Terraria, gender really doesn't fucking matter. But in some games, gender actually makes you distracted from the boss. That's why I couldn't play. Oof, Tomb Raider, bro, Jesus Christ.
Housing. You see, to build a strong community, first you need a position of power, which will in turn allow you to induce codependency in form of exchanging shelter and coin for goods and services. When you build a house, eventually an NPC will move in there, and they're integral to progressing through the game. We build a functional house by having an enclosed space with a back wall, table, chair, door, and a source of light. Zombies will open the door and kill us, which is why we need stronger borders between us.
Isn't that only in Blood Moons?
Once we realized our vulnerabilities, we migrated our base of operation, carved out the inside of this tree, and started meticulously constructing a fucking testament to the incredibly satisfying nature of building a house in this game.
It is quite fun. Sometimes. 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 Oh my god.
Now this is where you can go mining underground and explore caves in search of better ore to make armor and weapons out of. Chests which can contain potions, weapons,
or fucking amazing ass gadgets? Tell them that.
A multitude of other useful tools. We also need them to store shit and the certain
trinkets,
death
bro,
that awaits you. That is a legitimate way to play the game, but it is not an effective way to play the game. A meticulous Terraria player would know to save the mining for later, because we'll be doing a lot of it, and instead go effortlessly chop down some cacti, which we craft into cactus armor, then travel to the edge of the map and interact with a sleeping fisherman. We complete his quest, which will allow the angler NPC to move into our village. You now have the meta NPC. Once a day you complete a quest for him, and in exchange he'll provide us with fishing gear and fishing potions, which we hold on to whilst yet again making our way to the edge of the world, which is quite a trek. This game is utterly massive. I'm a bit overwhelmed, and this is only a medium-sized world. A world.
Are you kidding me? How much did this game change?
World that is inherently rather unforgiving.
Real
gamers. We're playing.
That hardcore Eye of Cthulhu at the first boss you fight it's horrible.
Playing on expert mode, you see the quantity and quality
Very
of
easy
drops
though.
Scale linearly with said unforgiving difficulty. It really is the only way to play the game, because it incentivizes you to play by the meta. And fishing in the ocean is by far the most overpowered early game strategy. It yields the sawtooth shark,
fished in this
which is
game.
a fucking chainsaw, the shark reaver, which is the best pre-hard mode pickaxe, so that's the next 15 hours of gameplay. It beats 14 different tiers of mining that we could have grinded like complacent.
What the fuck? I didn't know about that!
Little simps, but to be honest, I'd rather settle for the fastest mining speed and the best stats. Speaking of stats, we also fish until we get the mini shark, an automatic assault rifle, along with enough loot crates to do an unboxing video. Then we excavate the area beneath our treehouse and begin an exploration of the underlying caves. We scavenge them for materials, which we use to construct essential crafting stations, such as a furnace, an anvil, the tinkerer's workbench, and the M statue, which I had to remove about 20 times throughout the playthrough.
Huh? Why? N-word? Is it because of is it because of the N-word?
Uncomfortable with letting my friends finish whatever they were typing.
Oh my god,
On a
yeah.
completely different
Okay,
note,
okay.
Terraria allows for 5 different trinkets to be equipped. The further you progress, the more mobility and effects you get to stack, and it's incredibly satisfying. Currently, I can double jump with a cloud in a bottle and sprint with the sailfish boots. I'm also rocking a golden armor set and, dare I say, terrifying weaponry. We also got grapple hooks.
Ooh, wait a second. Are those...
Dare I say, terrifying.
Oh, those are meteorite bullets, right? Because this thing accepts meteorite, and that's the best way to actually find like a sky islands. Just shoot upwards until you hear the dingle that it makes when it when the bullet hits the ground.
Weaponry. We also got grapple hooks, which is objectively a great thing.
Oh, those gem ones are so long.
Objectively. Did I say objectively? When the night of the blood moon came to terrorize our village, we desecrated everything with streamlined efficiency. We weren't just prepared. We were absolutely fucking qualified. And it was at this point I realized that in Terraria, a little fishing goes a long way. After the blood moon, we waited till the next dawn of night and summoned the first boss, the Eye of Cthulhu. Now, I did play this game 9 years ago, and no one felt it necessary to inform me that expert mode adds new attack patterns to some of the...
Oh, this is expert mode. Oh, okay. That's not as impressive. But I mean, to be fair, they died a lot, so if it was hardcore, it wouldn't exist. This video.
My friends believed it appropriate that I discover these things the fun way, the way the game developers intended.
Bye.
That's only the first boss in the easiest section of the game. So we yet again went back to the meta. Which in this case meant building an arena so we could dodge his Manto mode. After a few rounds of trial and error, we take down the eye, which grants us Crimtane ore and the Shield of Cthulhu. We can now dash. This is massive, with increased mobility, newfound courage, and a fair total damage of carnal willpower. We went on an expedition to the jungle biome. It was exciting to explore this whole area and
I hate jungle biome.
Find 15 different golden chests that Josh had already looted playing by himself at 4 a.m.
First come, first serve,
Josh's
motherfucker.
Antisocial personality disorder would throughout our playthrough evolve from a mild nuisance to a metaphorical social hand grenade. And that's one of the things I love about this game. It will bring out the worst in you and pit it against the worst in others. If Josh's items were to mysteriously disappear out of his chests while he's at work, it sure looks to me like he should have used a safe instead of communally available socialite storage. But I digress. It is time to change.
Yeah. I mean, if he takes every chest and doesn't share with the group, take his shit.
Circumstances entirely and surpass the peasantry of being limited by gravity. We combine bottled water, fire blossom, deathweed, blinkroot, and feathers to create gravitation potions, which when consumed will invert gravity.
Is that the angry cloud summon?
Or the sky islands.
1, go.
Oh man, that's there we go.
Up here.
Okay, a gravity changer isn't the best way to do this because sometimes you just fall and die into the sky. The best way is, as I said, is the shooter. The moment you shoot something upwards and it hits it, you can hear it very clearly.
Oh, found one.
Up here, you'll find stacked sky chests, regularly spawning.
Oh my god, they already beat the wall of flesh because that's dragon never-ending story.
On the self-regulating effects of terminal velocity. That's all the side content, and it's definitely there. But the real reason I came here is to fish in the Sky Lake. Not for any particular items. No, I just came here for the atmosphere.
Huh. It's ridiculous, okay. That's actually very beautiful music. Oh my god. Yep.
After our bizarre sky trip,
What was the last one? It's so good, I must feel bad for getting it while it was on sale. Oh, no, I have it on 3 consoles. 3 consoles, 3 Steam, 2 Steam accounts and 1 console.
After our bizarre sky trip, I rinsed the herb farm and Henny's chests for Daybloom, Moonglow, Blinkroot, Waterleaf, Deathweed, Shiverthorn, and Fire Blossom.
Okay, between all, this is the best one. This is the best one because you can make a spelunker with it. I mean, this is for health, but this is, you can make a spelunker potion with it. And that shit is OP. You basically clean the map of all the good shit.
Which I combined to make a gender change potion. I simply didn't feel like my outward flesh reflected my inside emotions. I may look like a girl, but I feel like a man. Unfortunately, I accidentally dropped the potion and I ran off with my gender. After a couple minutes of chasing my manlyhood, I finally reclaimed it, downed the bruise juice, and replaced Ricardo's gender dysphoria with the self-realization of a warrior. And you might be thinking to yourself, alright, you built a treehouse, caught a pickaxe and an assault rifle, fought a demon eye, inverted gravity to fish in a sky lake, and changed your gender. Where can you really go from here? And the answer is down. It was time to dig the elevator. Partly because we...
This fucking music! This music is in every restaurant or coffee shop, literally in here, man. I don't get it.
want to go to hell, but mainly because it's the most oddly satisfying digging process you'll ever go through.
Oh, it's so good. That's such a good music, man. Is it from an anime? I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know where it's from, but it's everywhere. And it's been everywhere for months.
Now, I really
Be
wanted
careful.
to take a creative risk, dump the whole 4-minute clip and let the Gerudo Valley remix bang out. But when you really get down to brass tacks, the reason I couldn't is because I'm too mentally disparaged to set up a virtual audio cable, and all my friends are on the same audio track as the game. Another stern consequence of my mental state is that we dug this thing incorrectly, contributing to the ever-increasing kill count of
Yeah, I saw you go. They went to the right by one block.
terminal velocity. Luckily, I'm playing with people who actually know what they're doing that could rectify my poor construction skills. We finished the elevator, but we weren't quite ready for hell yet. First, we had to travel to a crimson biome and fight the Brain of Cthulhu, a boss who creates illusions that are so easy to see through, even an 8-year-old would scoff at the lack of difficulty. Looking back at the footage, the fake brains fooled me every single time, and I failed to see through the trickery even once. Shortly after we completed Terraria's ode to British sesh culture,
That one. Yeah,
devastating the central nervous
down.
system,
Holy shit!
a meteorite landed, and let me tell you.
I mean, that happens when you break the eggs.
Shortly after we completed Terraria's ode to British sesh culture, you know, devastating the central nervous system, a meteorite landed. And let me tell you, that is absolutely smashing. Meteorite is the most powerful ore we have access to at this stage of progression. If you stand directly on top of it, it will sear your flesh to the point of death. To avoid a situation where we all stopped being friends, we split it equally and let each individual decide what they wanted to craft. I looked at the wiki for less than 10 seconds before I knew I wanted the space gun.
And with the full suit, you don't consume any ammo, bro. And a star cannon is really good if you have a very big ass star farm.
Then we had an absolute surge of overconfidence and built an arena outside the dungeon. We also erected a little house with a bed so we could set our spawns next to the fight. The Skeletron fight, that is. A battle we were not prepared for. A battle which will result in a long therapeutic process many years down the line once I'm done repressing it. This is yet another situation which draws a direct parallel to British sesh culture. We needed gear, much more gear, which came in the form of a second meteorite. By the way, farming meteorite in Terraria reminds me of the now 8-year-old Tobuscus Let's Plays that I used to bang out on the daily.
Hello once again, audience. I was actually gonna go get some more wood. Get some more wood. I don't get it, but
I know about that. I was watching Total Biscuit and Jesse Cox play this game. I never watched any randos. Random. Sorry, fans of these people.
You want to die while I'm harvesting? That's fine. Just go. Just die. Just kill yourself. That's a good idea. Oh, everybody just kill yourselves.
Man, 2012 YouTube gaming was something else.
Oh, Toby! Oh god, Toby. No.
Anyways, with my newfound meteorite riches, I craft a full meteorite armor set, which reduces the mana cost of my space gun to 0. We take on Skeletron once more, and it dawns on us that our equipment was only part of the problem.
Unlimited.
As it turns out, the other half of our predicament was that we suck shit. But only losers stay on the ground. Real gamers rise up and take it on the chin.
Oh my god.
With a handful of attempts,
Idiots.
we finally eradicate Mr. Bones, which grants us access to the dungeon.
Okay, let's see what
With a
potions
handful
they
of
have.
attempts, we
Let's see
find-
the potions. Okay, regeneration, of course, campfire. That's the brain. That's not even a thing. They need iron skin, thorn, and they need actually like 200 health potions because this is just sad.
Finally eradicate Mr. Bones, which grants us access to the dungeon.
Oh,
The pacing
Jesus,
of Terraria's
yep.
difficulty is fucking astonishing. You play to a point where you almost feel overpowered, and then as soon as you reach the next stage,
Oh my
it's
God.
back to primal
Yep.
carnage. You'll have to overcome incredible.
Oh, that ring, the fucking Cheeto ring.
If you do, you're rewarded with an adversely harsh power spike.
Get the key, get
My
the key.
absolute favorite part of progressing is getting to see which items Josh left behind for the people that can
Tungsten, come on, Josh.
actually feel empathy. After a moderate amount of deaths, I am now plowing through the dungeon with the Book of Skulls and the Magic Missile, which along with my space gun led me to spec into Magic, one of the 4 class setups, along with melee, ranged, and summoning. I find it incredibly cool that you can go for a certain class for a couple stages of progression and then change it with some of the future weapons, equipment,
Easily,
and armor
yep.
you gain access to. You might even change it entirely based on one incredible item you get a hold of, and you can even combine the classes later down the line. This is fantastic game design, and I wish more games gave you that freedom. Furthermore, Terraria
World
really
of
is all
Warcraft,
about
Elden Ring, give us more freedom to change your specs.
freedom of choice. Let's say, hypothetically, 2 of the 4 players exploring the dungeon got a hold of a shadow key, something which would allow us to open any shadow chest in the underworld.
Yeah,
Those 2 players
hell.
would now have a choice to make. Do we go on a hellish expedition with our friends and share all the loot fairly, or do Josh and I do what
Oh, okay. That is the flashlight is the stuff that the brain of Cthulhu drops.
anyone
Okay, that
would
makes
have
more
done
sense.
given our
I was
circumstances?
like, what the fuck is that?
That was a rhetorical question. We, of course, rinsed hell for every single shadow chest. I did the entire right side
Let's
of the
go,
underworld,
Magma
whereas
Spear.
Josh took the entire left side. You gotta look out for number 1. And the risk of social detriment is far outweighed by the rewards. From Flamelash, to Meteorite Bars, to the Hellwing Bow, and Cold Hard Cash. This
Oh,
shit
be
is
careful.
absolutely perfect, and I don't regret our choices in the
Yep.
slightest. By the way, the underworld is one of my favorite visual aesthetics in the game. The backdrop is insane. You can screen cap any frame down here and it's literal pixel art. I also love the dynamic of how you survive. With the current equipment, you literally go building to building, narrowly escaping hellbats that do an unreasonable amount of damage.
It's better to make a bridge because when you wanted to make like kill the wall of flesh, that makes it a bit
Scavenging
easier.
for health potions, just clinging on to dear life. Unlike most games, in Terraria, you're heavily rewarded for breaking all the small destructibles. God damn it, this game is fucking well made. After rinsing the shadow chests, we dug out a Hellforge, which we need in the
yeah,
future,
let's
and
go.
made our way back to the surface. Involuntarily.
Okay, these are for hardcore. Oh my god, hardcore expert
Now,
pickaxes
still out
basically
fighting.
for
You've seen a lot
ores.
of mining, but you've only seen a minor amount of building. One of the best parts of Terraria, considering that Josh literally has a manor, Henny's got her castle, and Barty has a floating honey house.
Had.
For now, it's rather lackluster that my house is essentially a treehouse dorm shared with 2 other blokes. To rectify the
That's
situation,
all
I
right.
started
That's
building
absolutely
my
okay.
home. First, I laid out
my
minecart
God.
tracks from the communal treehouse, measured the distance, and started constructing my sky house.
Oh.
I use a bottom layer of ice so that my home will eventually be a frost biome, and because the ice taps are visually pleasing. I destroy one of the sky islands to make a cloud back wall, and I'm already tired of explaining this shit to you, so use your eyes to visually perceive what's happening, and enjoy one of the grooviest video game soundtracks of all time.
Okay, but it's making houses is always boring to me. But if the result is actually, oh my god, okay, it's becoming something. What is he making? Is this like a reference to something? Because this is visually good. How much collab do you have? Holy shit, okay. Ooh. Ooh, nice. Very smooth, very smooth.
Yo, what's popping? It's your boy, Cowman Oren Ricardo, and welcome to my crib. Let me show you around. This is my favorite part of the house, the roof. This is where the magic happens. It'll send you flying through the air on Mr. Ricardo's wild ride, which loops around and takes you right back to the ice annex.
Oh, that's
my crib's
brilliant.
very own little frost biome. And if you actually traverse through it without too much rigor mortis, the wild ride continues. You'll go directly from soaring the skies to the Underground Express. Officially, the most convoluted, least streamlined way of accessing the elevator. Now what was that, like 40 seconds? I'll have you know, building it took many hours of my life, but they were hours well spent.
Actually, yeah.
I have 162 hours on Hearthstone Battlegrounds. At least building a house in Terraria is a worthy way to spend my time. My sky house is stacked with a dozen chests that are all entirely unorganized and filled with random shit I've just stashed in there. I also have my very own party living in the dungeon. And if I'd built the living room just a little differently, it would have spelled weed. But I'm not immature, so why would I do that? Building in Terraria is extremely fun.
That's
the further you get, the more materials you'll have access to. Placing blocks is like a tiny little dopamine button. The stellar sound design and pixel art visuals constitute an incredibly engaging creative aspect, which is a breath of fresh air and a very welcome change of pace from progressing through the content. Speaking of which, we once more went back to the jungle biome and rattled the hornet's nest to fight the queen bee, the second last boss before the training wheels come off. Believe it or not, we're in the introductionary easy section of the game.
Oh my god, I can't wait for Vala Flesh. And post Vala Flesh, that shit is so fun.
In a team effort, together we built an arena.
There we go. There we go. It's so much easier now. Oh no! Oh no! It's almost there. Come on, guys. 200, 300, 100. Oh my god. There we go. Fucking yeah. Fucking yeah. Let's go.
It was almost anticlimactically easy. Too easy. So we decided to not prepare in the slightest when going to take on the hardest and final boss for this section of the game. To do so, you must travel to the underworld and find a demon carrying a guide voodoo doll. Kill the demon and drop the doll in the lava. This kills the guide in great agony and summons the wall of flesh, a giant, demonic flesh
They're
wall,
all
which
gonna die.
instinctively assumes that you're hurting for a squirtin'. You will meet your demise if you let it shoot you. You will succumb to homicidal cannibalism if you let it eat you. And Lord knows we're not gonna elaborate on what happens if you're unfortunate enough to let it touch you.
You're gonna
one thing
teleport and die.
Clear, it's that hell was in distinct need of a hell bridge. Something
it's almost dead.
Handedly. You need one construction worker and a bodyguard. Barney was spec'd as a summoner, and seeing as he'd emotionally extorted us for the bee grenades and other bee gear you get from the
What the fuck is all this shit? You always play Terraria solo. I never played. I mean, I played it with friends, but we never played it this like to get to this part.
He was admittedly perfectly suited for the job. In about an hour's time, we erected a beautiful hell bridge.
There we go.
Went exploring underground since we were already on the far right side of the map, where we discovered the location of the Aztec temple, went mining with spelunker potions, and rekindled our arachnophobia in the spider biome. I then encountered a nymph. Every other NPC we've ran into has been a tremendous help, so I naturally interact with her. The nymph goes on to beat me unconscious.
Oh my god,
and
what the
steal all
fuck?
my money. Not the first time a woman steps all over me, and most certainly not the last. You know what they say, crazy in the head, crazy in the bed. Satisfied with our expedition, we
You
put the conquest to
motherfucker.
rest whilst biding our time and gathering our strength. The day afterwards, we had a couple people online. We took on the Wall of Flesh once more. And to be honest, the Hell Bridge is really the definitive way to play this boss. I mean, I really don't know why we didn't do this from the beginning. The Wall of Flesh goes from rip and tear to sit and stare.
Love the Doom reference. Rip and Tear is a Doom sound OST that is just absolutely insane.
Oh shit.
Although I'll admit, when we ran out of
Not
bridge
enough
and
bo-
Halo
oh.
was burnt alive, I was a little shaken
Oh!
up. But I know that comes with the
Oh,
territory.
there we go.
You might have to burn a gamer
Someone
girl or
get that
two
shit.
if you want to get that gamer bread. And the bread you can potentially scavenge from the Wall of Flesh treasure bag is not your standard pure carbs and sodium white rye. Not your malnutritious French baguette. No,
It's
we're
the
talking
fucking-
sprouted whole grain sourdough. These are your chickpea
Oh my
flatbreads,
God.
your Ezekiel bread, the creme de la creme, the creme de la creme. We're talking absolutely based gamer bread here, folks. In my case, that meant a slow laser rifle, which I didn't use for several hours, seeing as it was slow. Turns out that was just the stats it got.
Yeah, it's not that slow.
3 times as powerful as my space gun. You live, you learn,
Yeah.
I guess. I also got the Sorcerer's Emblem, which is perfect for a magic wielder, and the Demon Heart, which when consumed grants an extra trinket slot. And with all these things,
that's really
I'm
good.
completely powerless. Because as soon as you beat the Wall of Flesh, the entire world
everything
changes
gets
as you
hardcore.
enter hard mode. In our case,
Yep.
expert hard mode. This is what separates the boys from the men. Our entire world.
Wait, pirates are coming already? Oh, the
permanently
pirates. I
converted
mean, it
and
makes sense.
revamped with new challenges and content to explore.
Get the
We got
light, get the
Crimson
fuck.
biome, rapidly spreading and corrupting our holy lands. And on the flip side, the hallowed biome, where unicorns and elves will rip out our entrails. New ore, mobs, invasions, crafting stations, new crafting options. New bosses,
New ore.
better bosses,
Oh.
more class specializations,
Oh, yes,
cursed
let's
events,
go.
new NPCs,
It gets so
and
much
way
better.
more items. Furthermore, nearly every
Tinker is probably the best NPC in the game. I love him so much because it changes the whole game, literally.
aspect of the game has been revamped, adding extensive replayability. But we'll get to that in just a second. First, we do the most important thing. Kill wyverns in the
wings.
sky until
Get
we have
wings.
enough souls of flight
Yep.
to craft harpy wings. Fucking listen to me. Limited flight, gliding, no more fall damage, an extra trinket slot from the now redundant double jump. Terraria's been rolling ever since house music was called techno. But this
True.
is where it starts peaking. We go to the Crimson biome to smash a Crimson altar with the Pone Hammer. This
That's not a good way of getting wings, though. The best wings are the dark wings, and that's it. Those wings, put down those stupid ass wings. Go to the fucking dark biome, or like get dark wings, mate. Get dark
is
wings.
the first point where we begin to grow accustomed to the steep incline in difficulty. We're forced to actually
gets
learn
worse.
attack patterns, die to utter nonsense, try to adapt, rinse and repeat.
Funny game where enemies can come through the wall.
That fucking granite shit is so annoying.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing from funny. It's so funny.
You poor thing.
Continue to get eviscerated anyways, because they're too plentiful and they're too powerful.
Yes,
Eventually, I managed
extremely.
to break through and smash a Crimson Altar, which releases new types of ore in the world. In our case, Cobalt or Recalcum.
And it summons those ghosty, stupid ass thingies. The thing is, these guys are a bunch of noobs, so it makes sense that they struggle a bit toward
And
this type
titanium.
of content.
These are essential if we are to have any chance at facing the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. So I mine like my life depends on it, which it absolutely does, until I can craft a cobalt drill. Then I scavenge for orichalcum ore, which I'll need for the pickaxe that can farm titanium. And in the midst
Best
of
one.
mining my own business, the Destroyer awakens. That's a terrible turn of fate. Awful situation to be in. It'll hunt us all down, massacre every single NPC,
Yep.
and spawn kill us for a good 5 minutes. After the Destroyer despawns, we get to breathe for literally 13 seconds before the pirate invasion hits. At this
Oh,
point,
come
we can
on.
really start to feel hard.
I mean, to be fair, that shit's been like that for real. Like seriously, things happen so quickly after you beat the wall of flesh that you basically want like it. Can I undo for 1 minute, for 1 day, so I can collect some gels and some trees for torches?
In quite nicely. You know, with some games, you turn up the difficulty, and it's like, all right, I think I can feel the difference. Terraria's not one of those games.
Nope. You die. Oh my god, that's so fucked up.
From the invasion, I managed to salvage the Keen Pirate Staff. It lets me summon a little pirate who has twice as much DPS as my best weapon. He can't take damage, doesn't despawn, and single-handedly probably tripled my character's.
Oh my god! Wait, you can get a pirate? I always used summoner spiders. The ones that basically go inside something and just keep damaging it. Now with the fucking summoner, like, robes and like equipment, you can summon 5 or 6 pirates.
And that's what it feels like every time this game's difficulty spikes. The content and
The
pacing
fucking mimic
is fucking perfect. So I farm serotonin crystals and kill enemies in the underground hallow for souls of light. I then go to a bookcase and combine these with a tome to make Crystal Storm.
Oh
this
yes!
Tome is to a
Oh,
magic
it's
spec
so good.
boss Terraria player what Halo Top low calorie ice cream is to fat people. It's a well-known fact, but much like in the game, people who consume low-calorie ice cream on a daily basis actually lose all their mana, which results in skin complexions and victim mentalities. Although sometimes it's alright to feel sorry for yourself. For example, if you're fighting the mechanical bosses, it's not a mentality. You are the victim. The Eye of Cthulhu is now railed to the bone and jacked as can be. One eye with a laser cannon and another spewing wildfire. Both alternate between these modes and a charging melee attack. And just when you think you have a chance of winning, you acquaint yourself with the enrage mechanic.
Yep. Dude, when you kill one of them, the other one becomes retarded. Just insane. Just goes fucking crazy. They're not even killed one of them.
Safe to say, we didn't beat it on our first try, but I'm just gonna cut to when we did, cause this video was already way too long. With 15 Souls of Light, I craft the Key of Light, which I chuck in a chest, turning it into a hallowed mimic. We bum rush the bad boy, and with some luck I actually managed to get a Daedalus Stormbow on my first attempt.
Ooh,
this item
let's go.
is what led me to ever so slowly move away from being magic spec'd.
2,400 gold.
An adequately difficult challenge.
Just for Demonage, by the way, just for Demonage.
Fighting Skeletron Prime, I realized I'd bitten off much more than I could chew, but beggars can't be choosers.
Let's
I
go.
suck it up and engage in the
Just
only
dodge,
reasonable
just dodge.
course of action,
Ah!
repress the experience, deny
It's
that
actually
hurting
quite
me,
easy.
and leave this for my future therapist to deal with. Because truth be told, when you go through an agonizing, traumatic experience, it might be better.
That Daedalus bow is so good unless you're on the ground. As long as there is like caverns and shit, it's okay, but if you're on the ground, it's just useless.
Act like it never happened, and instead of facing objective reality, reject a repetitive, stagnant life within the confines of normality. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm projecting, but I've spent way too long on this fucking video. Next boss.
Oh my god, it's fucking dead immediate.
It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go through the motions. It can kill you in 1 or 2 hits, shoots lasers out of each segment, which when damaged will detach, leaving you with laser drones chasing you down. On expert mode, we're looking at
Hardest one.
15,000 health, and if we don't beat it within a few minutes, it's daytime and the boss despawns. Now there is some lame way you can cheese pretty much every single boss in the game, but because we are real gamers, we want the challenge. We welcome the suffering, and we embrace the post-traumatic stress disorder. Defeating the mechanical bosses grants us hallowed bars and various tormented souls, which I use to make the pickaxe axe, the necessary item to take it to the next level. I use it to mine chlorophyte ore, and I opt to fully spec into melee.
Oh yeah, that ore is actually one of the best ores in a video game because it spreads and you can make a farm of it without it being so annoying.
With the
I love it.
I then combine hallowed bars and souls of light and might to craft light discs, 5 of them to be exact, because that's how many I can throw out. This weapon is definitely pretty good at dealing damage, but it's unprecedented.
Not that good.
Noise.
Oh my god!
I would go on to craft much greater weapons, but before we continue, allow me to, in a biased manner, blindly praise the game design a bit more, because I think progressing in early hard mode is a clear-cut case of outstanding, non-linear, well-implemented replayability. You can progress in pretty much any aspect of the game, whether we go to the dungeon, the underworld, fishing, building, mining. Every aspect of the game can directly contribute to completing Terraria. Even if Josh is an antisocial weirdo who just wants to spend hours fishing by himself, he's still getting us that gamer dough. Barney isn't. These are his words, not mine. Our gay interior designer, and I intend to speak with reverence when I say I don't always agree with his feng shui. But the mere fact that he didn't give a shit about farming, mining,
that honey hole. He's probably into bears, isn't he?
The bosses, but rather spent 10 hours of his life building a teleporter station in fucking space, meticulously designed for streamlined access to all the key travel points in our world, actually provided us with technological infrastructure that would carry us through the late game.
That's so cool, like a piece of biome. Oh my, that's so cool.
Points in our world actually provided us with technological infrastructure that would carry us through the late game. Hai is an absolute metagamer who's played through the game several times, always scheming up some new optimal arena or preparing all the materials we need for the next big boss fight, or ensuring that he gets the crimson chest.
Oh my god, what the fuck is going on? He's not going to get it, don't worry. You're gonna get it, don't worry.
And then there's me and Henny, who aimlessly browse the Terraria wiki to see what items we can get next, whilst randomly progressing wherever we happen to go in the world. Now the beautiful thing is that all of these are valid ways of plowing.
Oh, kill those spots and get the... Oh my god, get the summoner build. Summoner build is the most OP build in the fucking game.
Through the game. And just when you thought I was
and it's a lazy build,
Terraria's
but it's a good build.
I do the unexpected and keep sporadically praising it for the rest of the video. You may have noticed that I'd at this point discovered the dye tab. Not just is there a cosmetic slot for every piece of equipment, you can also acquire various dyes and pretty much customize your character to wherever on the spectrum you may find yourself. The bosses in the game are also a spectrum. On one end, you got the Slime King, very slow. Easy to kill, very slow. Easy attack patterns, simple movement, killed with ease, very slow. Easy to kill, killed with ease. And on the other side of said spectrum, you have Plantera, the hardest fucking boss in the game. If earlier...
That's so true! To be fair, this race was harder for me when I was doing it.
Cause for distress and constitute a need for therapy, then Plantera is the shit you never tell your therapist about. Both because you don't want to be chucked in the loony bin, and because it's an experience that can't be repressed, as it breaks you to the point of ego dissolution within the first minute. By the way, I'm a tank with full turtle armor. That means every boss primarily targets me. That is for a whopping 9 seconds, after which I succumb to fatal disintegration. It's a race to get back.
That's why you get a healer, someone who can heal you. There is a staff for literally doing that.
All 4 players are out of aggro range simultaneously, Plantera despawns.
Oh, fucking turtle!
I wasn't ready for the gamer turtle. Plantera has this attack where he flies 3 times as fast as the player and one-shots you. When he's not doing that, it's a lethal organic bullet hell. As they say in Danish, statskontrolleret økologisk, but much like heavily upmarked Scandinavian produce.
What? Is that like something to do with nature or something?
Natural, nutritious, and organic doesn't mean I want it anywhere near my body. Hai told me that I should implement the Slime Mount's fastfall to dodge, and the Terraria wiki told me the flamethrower would be an effective weapon. I quickly came to find that I was dealing with a malicious website and a controlled operative, both peddling deception.
Oh my god. Yeah, I can see how much they struggle with this shit.
Plantera grants me 3 completely shit, useless items, entirely revamps the dungeon for that replayability, and drops the key to the Aztec temple. By the way, the Destroyer was the final boss back when I played, so this is all very new to me, especially the spiky balls. And the spears. I genuinely never saw it coming.
Oh.
As it fucking should be. I didn't play this game for 40 hours so it could hold my hand and we could walk on sunshine. I'm here to conquer and fucking dominate. Unfortunately, when you fight the golem, you may be the one who gets conquered and dominated. But with wormhole potions that mysteriously disappeared from Henny's chests and friends that can actually dodge, I single-handedly slay the golem.
Use 'em.
Once again, Terraria's difficulty spikes, and we're faced with utter military superiority.
Oh
in the form
no. I mean, to be fair, if you're not in the game, if you're not here, everything you have in the game is ours. Basically.
of a UFO invasion that reminded us why we don't face our enemies head on, but rather behind the lush comfort of easily abusable game
Yo-yos.
Admittedly, a cowardly
fucking
strategy,
yo-yos.
but after dying 15 times, we felt it appropriate.
Yeah,
and
fuck
even
it.
15 deaths is actually baby talk compared to the Frost Moon, which extensively acquainted us with the ruthless difficulty spike you must face after clearing a boss. The Terraria wiki told me that the Pumpkin Moon would be easier than the Frost Moon, but you have to remember, it's a malicious website with false information. I looked at the data, and the leading theory is that the Pumpkin Moon was likely developed in hell by Satan. It's a gruesome experience. Going through it makes me want to shake everyone's hands. Makes me want to cosplay PewDiePie playing PUBG. It's an absolutely carnal slaughter. I clearly wasn't equipped to deal with the situation, and here's what I did to change that. During the Martian Madness, I scooped up the coolest magic weapon in the game, the laser machine gun, which I traded for the cosmic car key.
I never seen that
magic
before.
gun will do me no good as the tank, but a spaceship just might. I then used 12
Wait, what the fuck?
bars to craft Excalibur, 12 stingers and 12 jungle spores to make the
Excalibur! I love it.
Josh's chest to craft Muramasa, 20 Hellstone bars to make the Fiery Greatsword, and 10 Crimson bars to make the Blood Butcherer. I go to a Crimson Alt.
Isn't there a sword called the real Excalibur or Caliber or something? There is a sword. I remember something like that.
Muramasa, Fiery Greatsword, and Blood Butcherer to make Night's Edge. I then farmed the Solar Eclipse and High's inventory.
Oh god, where is this going?
Swords, which are used to craft respectively the True Excalibur
and
True
Night's
this
Edge. Is the fun!
I then go to an Orichalcum Anvil and combine the finest blades of light and darkness to craft the Terrablade, our long-range melee weapon. But I'm not done.
Yes!
The Titan Glove and Feral Claws make a Power Glove. Combine that with an Avenger emblem and we get the Mechanical Glove, which is forged together with a Magma Stone for the Fire Gauntlet. Any weapon we swing is now on fire. Has 10% increased attack speed and damage, plus 80%.
Oh my god, dude!
I craft the strongest pre-endgame tank armor in Terraria, the Beetle Shell Set. We also scoop up a Paladin Shield, which absorbs 25% of damage done to players on my team. I skip the Ankh Charm, because I'm not gonna farm for 10 hours. And then combine a multitude of items to make the Master Ninja Gear for optimal movement and a 10% dodge chance.
Now you're the
Sun
goat.
and Moon
Now you're the
for
tank
Celestial
goat. Let's
Stone.
go.
Defense, life regeneration, crit strike, damage and melee speed. Then I get lucky as shit with the Frozen Turtle Shell. A 1% drop chance from the tortoises in the ice biome. It significantly reduces damage taken when below 50% health. Along with wings, that fills out our 6 equipment slots. And of course we spend an unfathomable sum of gold to reroll all of them till we get +4 defense. And force our useless wizard / interior designer to be the healer. The final touch is the extremely fast short-range weapon I showed in the intro. With that, I'm finally complete.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy shit! Look at it get destroyed! Absolutely destroyed! Oh my god!
40 minutes building up to. This is what I spent 50 hours of my life to achieve. I've been waiting for this my whole life. This is gameplay. Pure, primal gameplay. I'm not just having a good time here. I'm not just getting by. I'm fucking thriving. When I'm standing still in the middle of a boss, skanking, my brain is in a state of reverse depression. Just pure fucking pleasure. If you did an MRI, you'd find my central nervous system flooded with serotonin and dopamine. Every neuron fired up, and every synapse collapsing in on itself, as it fucking should be.
if something's not challenging and you're extremely OP, you're not gonna have that much dopamine because you're just everything's gonna be so
I
simple.
didn't go into Terraria for a mild kick. I came here for a melee tanking experience that would leave me terrified, traumatized, and entirely fucking brain damaged. And it's at this point that we use the truffle worm to fish, because face tanking bosses we've already defeated to optimize our gear is definitely solid. But fishing with a 666% bait power to summon Duke Fishron is a direct adherence to the meta.
Oh my god. Let's go.
Oh, fuck.
Hello?
Yes, hello, is this my therapist?
When it is?
Why are you calling me?
Yeah, I would like to schedule an appointment. How does 3 times a week for the next 4 years sound to you?
Please stop calling me Jonathan. I don't know what I've done to deserve this.
Absolutely, it's a guy called Duke Fishron. You see, he's really put me through it. I haven't felt like myself ever since the Sharknado.
You're making me really uncomfortable. Can you please stop contacting me?
That
Oh
sounds
my
good.
God.
What about Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 4 p.m.
I'm not joking. I will get a restraining order.
What is
All right, I'll be
happening?
in the office tomorrow. Hello? All right, it's a
What
date.
the fuck
With
is
a
going
successfully
on?
booked therapist appointment, I had the final prerequisite to take on the final event and the final
Success?
boss.
What do
But
you
before
mean?
doing so, I decided to waste my time on something useless. I rinsed our homemade mushroom biome on about 20 separate occasions to have enough glowing mushrooms, which I combined with chlorophyte to make shroomite bars. With 18 of them and 20 souls of flight, I construct the hoverboard, and then immediately feel intense remorse, regret, and disdain when I realize I just spent literally hours to make an awful item which maneuvers significantly worse than the wings. I chuck it in the cosmetic slot, shed the victim mentality, and rise to the occasion, cause it's time for the final frontier. We kill some heretics outside the dungeon, which summons a lunatic cultist. The wiki informs us that he's considered the penultimate boss of Terraria, so it should come as no surprise that he was the easiest thing we've ever done in our lives, and none of us even came close to dying. A stark contrast to what came next. 4 celestial pillars.
Oh, this is the shit I was so fucking good at. The moment we entered this era, those things move around and change the
Best in our
biomes too,
world,
by the way.
causing the vortex, stardust, nebula, and solar rifts to tear through space-time, leaving us at the mercy of an interdimensional alien invasion. In the words of the then famous, now infamous prophet, Christopher Wistifer, he said, "When in doubt, whip it out." Now you can complete the lunar events the
Let's go,
intended
bro.
way, or you can complete them without dying 30 times. Non-linear game design, it's your fucking choice. 10 out of 10. Slowly but surely, we use bullets to start defending ourselves into a crowd of illegal aliens. For each rift, at least 150 confirmed kills are required to make the pillars vulnerable. But we're not here to meet the bare minimum. We're here to keep this world in line. We gotta cleanse this place of evil. This is
Let's
pest
go.
control. We gotta remove these animals. This
Oh
is
my
our home,
God.
Coral. We can go back to the way things were. We could have
I think it's
warm water,
referencing Walking
Coral.
Dead, bro.
We spent years cleansing the corruption, Coral. We gotta keep this place pure. We gotta defend our home. So anyways, each of the pillars grant us solar, nebula, stardust, and vortex fragments, which can be used to craft various extremely powerful items within each respective class. And since in Terraria, the means of production is owned and controlled by the workers, I had to engage in communal resource distribution and share my solar fragments with Josh, who was also melee. That was a real gamer compromise. I used mine to craft the Solar Eruption, a sword with so much power and so much extension that I'm almost certainly overcompensating for something. But regardless of what it is that I'm lacking, this weapon more than makes up for it. So with a booked therapist appointment, banging gamer loot, and an unrelenting force of will, we challenge the god of this world. First, we fought an enormous eyeball with teeth, then a slime with a person suffocating inside of it, then a teleporting brain, then a bee who's really mad, then a crazy cursed skeleton, then a gruesome flesh wall, then 2 metal eyeballs with a laser cannon and a flamethrower, then an insane robotic skeleton with a cannon, a saw, and a spiky head, then a robot worm with rapid-fire lasers, then a flower, then a big orange robot, then a dragon pig.
What the fucking diss to Palatria, calling it a fucking flower. I mean, it is a flower, but Jesus Christ.
Fish, and finally, the ultimate challenge. A guy with eyes on his hands, who's genuinely a great ending to the game.
This
an appropriately excruciating final boss for an adequately difficult game. Sprinkled with Lovecraftian cosmic horror. And if you read between the lines, just the right amount of vaccination. The Moonlord is nothing to scoff at. His aggro range is the entire world. For he is omnipresent. If he kills your friend near the ocean, he will teleport to where you just spawned and frag the nurse, as per the intended game design. The Moonlord will occasionally fire a phantasmal death ray that will sweep across the entire screen. The strategy for beating him is to have one person in a spaceship.
Oh, so it's just a screen if someone's over there? Away from the tank, it's not gonna hit it? Probably the board, is it?
Until they're about to die, at which point a magic mirror is used to teleport back to the base.
Come on, mirror. No!
If the main tank
too late.
exuded a massive blunder and had the mirror in his inventory rather than on a hotkey landing himself a solid minute-long respawn time, it would likely cause his party to wipe, meaning they'd have to restart the 15-minute-long boss fight. A clear-cut case of it is what it is. This fight has too many goddamn variables. There's no way you don't fuck this up. And as a result, this ends up being a chaotic infinity war across the entire game world. If whoever had aggro fucked up, there's absolutely no mistaking if you're next. I think it's appropriate to say, alright, now we're...
Aren't you the tank? You're the aggro here, man.
As we overcome the final boss, I'll provide my final verdict. I don't think it's unreasonable to claim that within its respective genres, Terraria is both experience-wise and on a technical level one of the best games in the world. It just does everything right. From the extensive customization to a super accessible crafting system, to the non-linear progression, to the perfect pacing of content and difficulty. I find it extremely hard to critique the game when it excels across the board. Base building, exploration, combat, sound design, immersion, replayability. These are words that send me into a manic frenzy, and I just might punch myself. I played this game 9 years ago by myself, and I'm so glad that I revisited it with friends after the developers followed through on their vision. I think it's a timeless visual masterpiece.
True.
And I'm not biased. This
Absolutely
is objective
true.
information, in my opinion.
It is timeless for sure, because even now, when you go in it, you can sense the quality of the love the developers actually put in the game and the amount of free stuff they gave us even after it was almost finished. They gave us so many good shit, so much good updates.
So here we are, at the end of the road. I originally intended to show you the final tier of equipment attainable only by farming Moonlord for hours. I thought it would have been a good little meme if I provided social commentary whilst completely cleansing our world of corruption, making it a utopia of pure pleasure. After which I intended to use a drill containment unit which would take a solid 10 hours to farm to destroy every single block.
Literally, I love it.
Pissed off my friends and been a neat little way of tying everything together. But instead, I decided to stay true to the structural analysis and provide an accurate reflection of my experience with the game rather than forcing content where there is none. Terraria is extremely fun.
Nice.
One of the most succulent games I've ever played. That is, exclusively while you're progressing through the content. But as soon as you kill Moonlord, there's no next step. No new ore to farm and no new area to unlock. It goes from 100 to 0 real quick. I guess you could still build a house, but what's the point? Josh literally has an automated mob farm below his mansion. I'm lame-brained, maybe even impaired, so I can't possibly beat that. Plus, the building gets pretty boring and stagnant when you don't have the exploration, bosses, and other content to balance it out. There's no greater challenge to warrant farming all the Moonlord items. And to be honest, we all completely lost interest in playing on the server.
Again, fucking house of that poor dude.
Beating the game. So what happened is that I found an Arabic Nokia type beat, tweeted about it, and then Lo-Fi Lenny sent me his music. Through a series of events I don't legally have to explain, I ended up dropping a homosexual gangster rap, which is, in an unexpected plot twist, my final rating for the game. My name is Ben Lolo, I'm so homo. Suck a big cholo, make that dolo. You could work a 9 to 5, barely wanna stay alive. Every day, rise and grind, wasting all your fucking time. But I don't wanna do it like that, fuck rap. I don't wanna fuck women, I just wanna fuck trap. Suck ass, get a whole
Oh my god, me too, bro.
Tired of this hate shit, straight shit, bait shit. I don't wanna date bitch shit, so fake, I need a break. I just wanna feel alive and awake. Please God, one day, let me wake up gay. So I can cup the booty shorts.
Oh my god, it's still fucking going!
I feel alive and awake. Please God, one day let me wake up gay. So I can cup the booty shorts, pixie cut, bubble butt, suck a dick, no hands, romance in a trance with a trance, no pants. He's got a nice ass, I've got the finance. Made 100,000 selling trap porn on OnlyFans.
That's what all of them are doing, bro. Okay, to be fair, I won't call anyone traps, but basically, if you go to top OnlyFans, some of them are like literally girls with dicks, and they're just so attractive that people are curious. I'm just saying, like, go check them out. They're fucking amazing. They look insane and very attractive. But yeah. Uberdanger's Terraria. I agree. Terraria is probably one of the best games ever made. See you later.